Did that activate it? I'm seeing a yellow outline, so that says my screen is being shared.
Yeah, I can see it. It's my network actually.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, are we all on this step? New custom object?
Yeah. Actually, I've created all this with Tulsi in one of the sessions. Should I redo it or?
I don't think you need to completely redo it. If you want, you can even try to remind me if I need to think of something.
All right.
Doctor name, it's going to be text and not a number. I guess we can allow all kinds of stuff because I don't know what we might need. Deployed, we can allow search. I think we should launch the new custom tab wizard because we'll want to make tabs out of these. Save and new. A hospital would also need patients, so patients, not patents. Doesn't start with vowel sound. It's also text. I'll just click on allow all the things. Save and new. A hospital can also have labs. Labs. Following along with all this? The fourth thing was bills. Bill and bills. And then save. And then I think it automatically takes us to tabs. If it doesn't take you automatically to tabs, I guess you can click on the quick find, type in tabs. And it would let you create new for custom objects. I'll go with bill. Just pick any tab style. It doesn't matter which style it is. We can leave all this default and save. Another one for a doctor. And the reason we're doing this is because Salesforce is full of objects, but not all of the objects are visible all the time. So what we're doing is kind of upgrading the objects to tabs so that we can access them in our app.
One second. After creating bills, we need to go for tabs.
If it doesn't take you directly to tabs, you can type in the quick find tabs and then go to tabs. And then under custom object tabs, you can click on new. And all of the custom objects you've created should appear in this little drop-down menu.
this I can't see, in this I can't see I created tabs. So what should I do?
What can you not see again?
Whatever I created, I couldn't find them.
You went to new and to object.
1 second. New. Okay. And the object is doctor, like that.
The object
Yeah.
is the different things that we've made.
Yeah.
So pick one of them, pick any tab style. It gives you a giant list. Just any of them will work. We don't need to mess with the rest of it. Press next a few times and then save.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello,
Is this Kevin?
this is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. Good morning. I don't know. Good evening.
Good
there.
evening.
Yeah. I'm Tulsi's friend. This is Koteshwar here.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry for joining in late.
It's fine.
So what should I do?
Tulasi wants me in charge, so I'm trying to go through building a hospital management app.
Okay.
So in order to build things, I guess you'll need objects. Are you ready to follow along?
I'm absolutely new to Salesforce, so I'll just follow along.
Okay. I think what you'll need to do is you'll need to go to setup. Do you know how to get to setup?
Yeah. Let me bring in the Salesforce site.
I guess everyone else go to setup. Type in apps or app manager and try new Lightning app. Come up with a hospital management app. Are you in Salesforce? Ready to go?
No. Excuse me, Kelvin. After going to Lightning Experience App Manager, what we need to do?
App manager, your Lightning app. Give it a name like hospital manager
In the new one?
or hospital management app.
I mean, new one. Okay.
For a developer name, you can just enter your name. Developer name. Oh, maybe it's not your name. Maybe it's like maybe it's more automatic than that. I think a lot of this you can leave as standard. Are you in Salesforce ready to go?
just give me a couple of minutes, but you guys can go ahead. I'll join.
Okay. App Lightning app. Hospital manager. You can even change the color of the app if you want.
Do we need to do again?
No, I'm catching back up.
Okay.
The stuff we can leave alone. The stuff we could probably leave alone. Navigation items. This is the stuff that's in the app, because an app is a collection of objects, and objects are like collections of records, and the records are all that data. So, what are the things that we wanted to include? We wanted the bills, doctors, all of the things we just made. And loading more. Patience. Because we could build a giant thing out of all of these, but we're just focusing on these 4 custom objects for now. Profiles. I'm just going to put the standard ones, and of course the system administrator, because I think that's what we're all trying to get to. Follow along with that. Because I think it should cause it to show up in the app launcher. Are you ready yet? Hospital manager. We have our 4 tabs. Bills, doctors, labs, and patients. We haven't added anything to these, so they're kind of just empty. Like if we click on new, the only thing we have is the name. And so what we'll need to do is add more fields to the objects. So we'll go back to setup. Object manager for all the objects. We can start with doctor. If you go to fields and relationships, you can add in all that extra stuff to fill in with information like names, everything like that.
Do we need to go to doctor again?
Did you go to doctor in the tab or in setup and then object manager doctor? because this is kind of the front end of the object. This is kind of the back end that the administrators work on. Because this is the setup side of things.
So after going to doctor, what we need to do?
Are you at Doctor in Object Manager?
Yeah.
Fields and relationships.
Yes.
Let's go with text because they need a name.
I think I have, in your case, it getting more objects, but I'm getting only 4 labels created by doctor name, and that's it. Last, modified, and owner.
Created by doctor name, last modified, and owner. Yeah, you'll need to click on new because we're adding new ones to it.
Okay.
So I think everything starts out with those 4 most basic object properties. What we want is to add a full name, or we can go with first name, maximum length. I guess I'll just go with 25. Here we can decide all kinds of things, like if you require the field in order to save a record. What that means is if you leave it blank, it will not let you create a new doctor. Back on the sales, or in this case, it's the hospital manager app. If you click on new doctor and if you don't give them a name, it won't let you create one. If you have this checked.
We need to check it or no?
I don't think you really need to. You can decide that. It also has a unique option to not allow duplicate values if you don't want 2 people to have the same first name. But if you think about it, a hospital could have different people with the same first name. If we click on next, this is all the visibility stuff. We don't need to worry about that yet. And we can just click on save and new because that was their first name. We could also add another text for their last name. And this one I feel like making required. Next, and save. So now our doctor has, not a doctor like a person, doctor the object has all these fields and relationships. These 2 are added by us. If we go back to doctors and click on new, the fields we added show up here. And it looks like the doctor is something that's already automatically mandatory. I wonder if we can get rid of this one. Edit. I'm seeing the options text or auto number. Maybe it's mandatory. I think I'll just leave it. You go back to doctor in the app. I'll just type in some stuff. Bob Smith. And that creates the doctor. If we go back to doctors and click on new, and just try typing in Bob. I don't know. And leave this one blank and try saving it. It won't let us save it. And that's the difference between a required field and a non-required field. So I'll just cancel that one. Patients, we can also need a lot more information than just having them exist. So I'll go back to Object Manager and find Patient, Fields and Relationships, New, Text, and I'll do the basic first name again. Is this all making sense so far? I'll do the same thing and make a last name. And I'll always require one. Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, Kevin?
Are you ready to join?
Yeah, I'm already in. I'm just following the lecture. So
Just watching then?
Yeah,
Okay.
just watching. I'm not doing any hands-on right now. I'm just watching.
Okay. I think it's good to watch too. I think Talasia disagrees though. Whatever. So if we go back to patients, the first name and last name popped up here. We can type stuff in. I think we could have replaced this with an auto number, and instead of having to type in the text, it would give us patient numbers instead. I'll just go with Bob and also Smith. Save and new. Random text. Bob, and if I leave this one blank, it won't let me make one because it needs this field to be filled out. Smith 2. I wonder if that's allowed. Okay, it's allowed. And we can click on the tabs and look at our things. We have this doctor, we have these two patients. We can add as many doctors and patients as we'd like. We can also add all kinds of other things, like they have phone, phone number, or not just phone number. I could have it be like home phone. Save in new. And another phone. And have this one be like mobile phone number. Because people are going to have lots of phone numbers. Same thing for the doctor. I think I'll go back to doctor in the object manager. Go to fields and relationships, click on new, and add phone. We can go with home phone number again. Next, save in new to make a new one right away. Phone, mobile phone number. And save those. Once we've added all this stuff to the setup side of things, if we go back to the other side and go to our doctor, if we reload this, now these new fields popped up, home phone and mobile phone number, and we can edit them if we want. So I could go with 555, 555, 5555. For a phone number. Next, what I want to do is try to assign these patients to a doctor. So what we'll need to do is go back to Object Manager. I think we need to go from the patient side of things and create a new field. I think what we need is called a master detail relationship, also known as a parent-child relationship, where has a description here. Special type parent-child relationship between this object, the child, or the detail, and another object, the parent or master, where the relationship field is required on all detail records. The ownership and sharing of a detail record are determined by the master record. So that means that the sharing settings are inherited by the master record. When a user deletes the master record, all the detail records are also deleted. You can create roll-up summary fields on master record to summarize the detail records. So that means that once we've done this, a doctor can track how many patients they have, for example.
Okay.
So master detail relationship. Next, we want this object to be related to another object. So we're going from patient to, notice we can't see patient here because we can't have patients related to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
We want it to be doctor. Field label, field name is the same. Child relationship name is patients. We can allow reparenting. Reparenting means, I guess, you can take a child record and assign it to a different parent.
That means different doctor?
I guess.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. So if you want a patient to be assigned to a different doctor, you can do that. And then next, this is all the visibility stuff. In case you want somebody to not be able to see it. And it appears in the related list. So, save. Cannot create. Existing records already exist. Okay. The reason for that is because it's a mandatory field. So if you create a new field that's mandatory, all the older records will not work anymore because they'll not have a mandatory required field in them. So can I delete this? I'm gonna have to delete all this before I can move on. Delete, delete. Okay. And I'll try again. New field, master detail. We want it related to doctor. Allow reparenting. If it stops us this time, it might be that we need to like permanently delete them. Okay, it was created. So now, if we look at patient and the fields and relationships on the patient object, we have the doctor as a master detail type. And what that means is if we go to doctors, I think we'll have to create a doctor first. So new, let's go with Doc, Bob, Smith. Now we have a doctor, and there's a related, and what that did is create a related list, and now we can see what patients are related to them. So now if we want to create a patient, we could go to patients and click new, but instead I'm going to see if we can just click on this new button that showed up here. So, Pat. I'll just name everyone Smith. And now we have this new field that showed up. It's red, so it's mandatory. And that's the doctor, because a patient can't just exist in the records without a doctor that they're assigned to. And if we had more options, it would give us all the options to choose one. We only have one, so I don't think it's changeable. Here. We have doc and we have new doctor. I don't want to click on this. We'll just have too many things at once, I feel like. So save. If we go to patients, even though we were looking at doctors, the patient we just created shows up over on the patients. And if we look at their doctor, it shows as doc. This shows up here. I think it also shows up. No, it doesn't also show up as related because it's under details. For doctors, a doctor can have lots of different patients. So they don't have the patient under their details because one doctor could have lots and lots of different patients. You wouldn't want that on the details for the doctor. But one patient, I guess generally would only have one doctor. So the doctor can show up on their details page. But if we look at the doctor page, it would be under this little related tab to see what patients they have. And here it's even counting it. So even though we didn't put a roll-up summary field, it's already counting how many patients they have. But I think we could add a thing that'll automatically track the number of patients. I'm thinking that needs to go on the doctor side. new, a roll-up summary field, a read-only field that displays a sum, minimum, maximum value of a field in a related list. So that sounds like the doctor to patient list, or the record count of all the records related and listed in a related list. So I can go next. I'll go with number of patients. And the object we want to summarize is the only one available, patients. Let's go with the count. We don't need to add criteria to the calculation. Visible to everybody. And save. So that added this new field to the doctor. Number of patients counts the number of patients. So if you go back to our hospital manager app, I'll just make a few more doctors. Doc 2. Doc 3. Just make a couple more doctors so we have options. And we go to patients. It's got menus in the way. Pat 2. Patrick. Everyone Smith. Oh. Access to field owner ID was removed from the entity. I feel like there should be a thing showing up. Oh, now it's working. And doctor. Before it filled it out with doc, now we have 3 different doctors to choose. I'll go with 2. And save. Now we have a new patient. Hat 3. I'll assign to doc 3. We can click on save and new to go right to making a new patient. Patient 4. I'll go with even numbers and odd numbers. And now when we look at our list of patients, we have all these patients. If we click on any one of them, we should be able to see a doctor that they're assigned to. And if we go back to doctors, we only have 3 doctors. This doctor now has a number of patients of 1. If we click on related, we can see those patients. If we go back to doctors, the tab, and look at Doc 2. Doctor 2 has 2 patients, and if we click on the related tab, we can see who those patients are. And if we click on Doc 3, Doc 3 has 2 patients, and if we click on related, we can see who all those patients are. Make sense?
Yes.
Good. And we did all that just by creating new fields and relationships over here. And this is the setup side of things. This is the front side of things that everybody else can see. I haven't done much about labs and bills yet. I'll go back to Object Manager. A bill needs to have some relationships too. I think what we'll need is a lookup relationship where it's just a link to another object. We can relate it to, I think we're relating it to the patients. Next, 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 and save. One of the most important things you want on a bill is an amount. So I'll click on New. And one of these is number, but the one we really want is currency. Allows users to enter a dollar or other currency amount, automatically formats it. Useful for exporting. That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So, bill cost. I'll change this one down to 16 and have 2 decimal places. And I'll even make it required. Because it would be weird for a bill to exist without a price on it. And save. So if I go to bills and go new, we now have name because everything has a name. Patient, this will look up a patient. So I can pick any one patient. I'll go with the first one. And I'll just go with 500 and save. And now that stores all the information that we put up. So name of the bill, what patient it goes to, the cost of the bill. It's all about storing all the information. I'm thinking, was there anything else that we needed for the hospital management app?
How about linking the patients to insurance details?
Okay, so I guess that would be object patient new. What kind of insurance details do you think they would have? Because it can be any kind of
any kind of health insurance.
Would that be text?
Wouldn't it be a separate?
I don't know, actually, no.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just go with insurance. How do you spell insurance?
RANCE.
C.
Yeah, that's
info?
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Spelling
Now
doesn't
add
matter.
field. Yeah, it doesn't. I think back when Talasi was teaching me how to make labs, I made one of the options a dog.
Okay, all right.
You don't have to be serious with it.
Yeah. I guess the interrelations are important.
Insurance info. We can add information to this. There are more connections to be made between all these things. I don't remember them though. Did you want to try doing it hands-on in the last few minutes?
I'm I was not able to get the setup run. I think I will try doing it today as a home
Setup?
exercise afterwards. Yeah.
Were you able to get to here or
Yes.
not?
Yeah.
Yes?
I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. Object Manager to do all your object things. It gives you the giant list of all the objects.
Yes. I see them.
This covers most of what businesses could need.
Okay.
But what we want to do is create our own app. So there's a create option to create custom objects.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what these things were. Bills, doctors, labs, patients.
Yeah, I see them. Yeah.
So doctors, has all these options.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just click on all those for now.
Oh, why is there a label and a plural label?
Some words do not always end in S for plurals.
Okay. I understood.
I guess it's just to have the computer automatically know, like if it's filling in some kind of template, it would differentiate between talking about this doctor versus this group of doctors.
Okay.
That kind of thing. Mine already exists on my end, so I can't create a new one. On your end, it might be better to change the data type to auto number, so it'll number the doctors instead of having to type a name every time, unless you'd rather type a name for them every time.
Okay.
And then save and new will let you save the doctor as an object and then take you directly to making a new object. And the four we need are doctors, bills, patients, and labs. Or if you want, you can just make doctors and patients for now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you create the doctor and patient objects?
No, I created a doctor, but I think what I am missing is I need to restart from the beginning. I need to have an application set up for myself. Like you have set up for
does yours already have things on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you using Trailhead at all?
Trailhead.
It's a whole lot of online training stuff.
I know that. Yeah.
Did you launch this isn't my Salesforce thing, this is a Trailhead playground.
I did not launch the Trailhead. No. So was I supposed to launch the Trailhead?
I think that's one option if you wanted like a new blank Salesforce instance that you can play around with.
Oh, okay, I could do that. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay. I guess I need to spend some time today getting my hands dirty.
Like down here, if I have this, I have all these different Trailhead playgrounds. 1, 2, 3. You can create a new one anytime.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you a lot of free space to try things out and learn things and not have much to worry about.
All right. Yeah. That is great.
So do you already have doctor and patient
Yes, I see them.
in your
Yeah,
objects?
doctors. Yes, I see them.
Okay. If you click on these dots, this is the app launcher.
Okay.
And you click on view all. Do you already have a hospital manager here?
Okay, so it's a pre-created one. Okay.
So you might already have one.
No, I don't see at my end. Maybe I'll have to create one.
Okay. Then we can try creating one for you. So that would be in setup. If you just click on home, it'll take you to the quick find. The quick find is useful for finding all the important stuff. Since you already have doctors and patients and stuff set up, I just want to make sure you have something else first. If you type in tabs, it'll take you to the tabs. Do you already have custom objects for the hospital stuff? Custom object tabs?
Okay. Custom object tabs, I see them.
You see them already for doctors and patients and stuff?
No. They're just empty. I need to create them.
Okay. Click on new.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
And it'll take you to this page. Here
Yeah,
you can
object.
pick the object you want to turn into a tab.
Okay.
Because an object and a tab are basically the exact same thing, except a tab is something that an app can use and access.
Okay.
You don't want your app to just contain all of the objects in this example. So pick any of them, like doctor, to start out. Tab style, you can just pick from this giant list. Doesn't matter which one you pick.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what this home page stuff is about. If you click on next, I think you should be able to get to the next part. Fine.
So whole bunch of tabs.
Are there a whole lot of check marks?
Too many of them.
Yeah, just leave those alone for now. That's for setting visibility. So if you want something to be hidden to certain people, you can set it there.
Okay.
So do you have it set up for your custom objects? For at least doctors and patients?
I have it for doctor. Yeah. So then just save it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I created one. Okay.
I remember somewhere I had a picture of the whole hospital management app in one big picture with all of the data in it and all of the connections drawn out as lines, and I don't know where to find it again. It would have helped a lot. Do you make a second custom object tab for patients? Is it frozen? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, Kevin. My laptop battery was running out, so I had to run and get my adapter.
Yeah. Okay. So you have the custom tabs set up?
Yes.
Okay. Then, once we have the tabs ready, we can go to App. Just type in the quick find. There's something called the App Manager. We're doing all the app things. Gives us a giant list of apps. What you'll want to do is try to create a new Lightning app.
New Lightning. I mean, is it called Lightning Usage app or like? Is there any name for the app?
I'm not seeing. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. You can name it something like Hospital Manager.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I understood.
The developer name is automatic, so you don't have to worry about it. You can put a description if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can even change the color. If you don't like blue, you can make it orange. Orange. I'll just make mine orange. App options. All this is pretty fine by default.
Okay.
You don't need to worry about that. When you get to navigation items, this is the important stuff. You know how when we look at this, we have bills, doctors, labs, patients, these tabs and stuff?
Yeah.
You'll want to find those. These are the navigation items. You'll want to find those.
Okay, and then pick
You
them up.
have doctors, add them to the selected list.
Okay.
And
So that's how
patients,
you
add them to
create
the
all
selected
those
list.
tabs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really create, just make them visible here.
Yeah, okay.
I think there's a ton of invisible. Add more items. All. See, we still have all these other items. But we just can't see them or do anything with them in this particular app because this particular app is currently working with these 4 objects.
Mm-hmm.
So, just doctors and patients is fine for now. Who wants to be able to use this? I'm just going to go with the standard things and the system administrator. And once we're done with that, we should be able to go to these dots, the app launcher, and it should show up at the bottom.
Okay.
And now you've built an app. If you click on it, it'll take you in and you can go to your doctors and your patients. I already made these earlier and it's using the same objects, so it's not going to make a whole new app with a whole new data in it.
Okay.
If you want your patients to have all kinds of information, you'll need to go back to Setup. Go to your objects. And work on the setup side of things. And fields and relationships is where you'll want to go to add things like their first name, their last name, their phone numbers, all that stuff. Are you looking at your fields and relationships in setup?
Not yet.
Not yet. Looking at the app.
Yes.
It shouldn't have much in it yet, but it should give you the basic stuff like new to make new ones.
Mhm.
If you already have your doctors and patients made in advance, then you should have a lot of information on these already.
Mhm.
Do you have any doctors and patients already?
I made a doctor. I've not made the patients. I'll try later today.
Okay. Is that maybe enough for now?
Yeah, yes. I get the idea, but I think I need to get my hands dirty.
Yeah. The more you play with it, the more familiar you'll get.
Yeah. So, are we done for today?
I guess.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Good luck with learning.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Yes. See you around again.
Stay safe. Wash your hands and all that.
Yes, man. Yes. Very true.
Thanks, ma'am.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Kevin. Bye.